So you're thinking about making a move to Tacoma. Well, if that is you, then you're gonna wanna stick around because in this video, I'm actually gonna break down some of the things that might make you possibly reconsider your move to Tacoma. And this is not one of them bait and switch, clickbaity type of videos that you see so many realtors making. I'm gonna tell you specifically the things that might make you want to reconsider the move. And you're definitely gonna wanna stick around until the very end because the last one, whew, man, almost had me considering changing where I landed as well. And we're getting after it right now. Hey, my name is Austin Robertson with the Titus Robertson Real Estate Group. If you want to know everything there is to know about what it's like to live here in Tacoma, eat, breathe, sleep, play, and work, and everything in between, would you mind hitting that little subscribe button so you can be the first to know about what's going on in the market here? And I can't tell if my machine is broken or what, but I'm not getting enough likes. Could you test it out? Hit that little like button. Let's just make sure it works. Chris, myself, and our team, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Tacoma. We know the ins and outs of every single inch of these streets. We know the best neighborhoods, the best places to eat, and exactly where you should be headed. So whether you're looking at making a move in 9 days or 90 days, choose a phone call, text, or an email so we can help you make that smooth move out here to Tacoma. All right, guys, well, number one on my list might seem a little dazed and confused, but it is the abundant smell of marijuana.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you.
Now, some of you guys I know are huge fans of marijuana, but I will tell you for damn sure Tacoma is. It does not matter if you're coming out of a movie or a concert or any type of local event. When you get back to your car, hell, about half the time I come out of a restaurant, I can smell weed. This really aggravates some people, but for me, it's just kind of part of the smell of living in the PNW. One of the great things I will tell you, and I personally do not partake in any marijuana. I don't smoke, I don't do edibles, anything like that, is that there's not been a big decrease or increase in crime since the legalization of marijuana in the greater Seattle-Tacoma area. So for most of us, it's really just putting up with that stinky, skunky smell. The second thing I really would like to point out to you personally about moving here that might make you want to think, this might not be for me, has got to be the weather here. Now, I have what they call reverse seasonal depression. I absolutely love it when it rains and it's gray, dreary, cloudy, and all that is just looming over us, because what that brings is the temperate climate that I also love of around 40 to 75 degrees. But a lot of people struggle with the weather when they move to Tacoma. One, it's actually the range of the weather. That typical 40 to 70, it really doesn't give you a lot of opportunity to yield those extremes that you actually might really enjoy. Do you like swimming every day in the summer? Well, when it crests 80, maybe 15 times a year, at the most 30 days a year, you don't really have a lot of time to be out playing in the water. And if you're a huge fan of snow, man, we average less than 1.4 inches on average a year, with January being our snowiest month. Now, even if you can get around those things, the dreariness and the gray also tend to just eat at folks when they move out here to Tacoma. So if you're gonna come out this way, what I suggest you do is you go talk to your doctor in advance, get you some vitamin D, some UV lamps, and eat a great healthy diet. That way, when those gray, cloudy days are hanging over us, you're in a nice, healthy place. Number 3 on our list has gotta be the big dark. Now, if you're not living in the PNW already, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. In Tacoma particularly, and the Seattle area, we have what is called the big dark. Now, this is a period that typically ranges from about Thanksgiving until around April, where It is dark all the freaking time, and the sun really never comes out. So you could very well leave for work in the dark and come home in the dark. Do you want to have a kids event, maybe a birthday party at 3 o'clock on a Saturday? Well, by the time you're done, guess what? It's going to be dark. In fact, during the winter solstice, we only average around 9 hours of daylight. I did not say sunlight. I said daylight. Some of these days, you're never gonna see the sun. This is also going to be the rainiest part of the year. So while Washington summers are some of the most beautiful that you'll ever experience in your entire life, the big dark is definitely gonna be the equal and opposite reactions.
Yes, science!
Number 4, be like I-5 and always be working on yourself, no matter how much it frustrates literally anyone else. That is right. Our interstates, both I-5 and I-405, are complete messes 24/7. You know, to be frank, I actually feel like a broken record hopping on videos talking about this area and always bringing up the traffic, the congestion, and the construction, but I just cannot get away from it to save my life. Everything from coming out of my neighborhood all the way going through the interstates, it is just a constant headache. So like the broken record that I am, I'm gonna tell you once again to plan everything you're doing in minutes and not miles. I don't care if the grocery store is 10 miles away. It is definitely not gonna be a 10-minute drive. You wanna get to a Rainier's game on a Saturday and it shows that it's gonna be 25 minutes to get there. Guess what? You're gonna be sitting on the exit for another 25 minutes. That's just the way it is. That's big city living. At 250,000 people, but it's kind of a big city compared to, like, I don't know, Baxter Springs, Kansas. If you can avoid literally going anywhere from 6:30 in the morning until about 9 o'clock in the morning, that's gonna be your best bet. Let all them kiddos get themselves to school, let people get to work, and then go enjoy yourself. And the same thing repeats itself at nighttime too. If you can avoid I-5 and the other major highways from about 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, that's really gonna be your best bet to have somewhat of a smooth drive getting where it is you're going. And I get it, 2 to 7 seems like a miserable block, but guys, that's the reality. These interstates are huge. How many times have you seen a movie with these interstates on them? They literally make movies showing these roads cram-packed full of cars. It's just a reality. And number 5, the last thing that really might make you want to just reconsider a move to Tacoma at all has got to be our home prices out here. It's no surprise that homes in the West Coast are super expensive, like Superman level expensive. Although I don't think he really made a lot of money as a journalist.
Lois Lane, say hello to Clark Kent. Hold you one, Pete.
Lois
Lane, how are...
Remember my dynamite expose?
But never mind. So homes during the first quarter of 2023 for the national average set at about $329,000 for a house. Here in Tacoma, on the other hand, our average was about $531,000. That's quite a bit of a jump in price from the national average to the Tacoma price. I guess that's what I call it, grit city. You probably got to call it more like grind city. You're gonna have to bust your ass to get around to pay for your house here. Now, what I will tell you is while this seems really expensive, compared to the rest of the West Coast, it's pretty low actually. Tacoma and Portland are 2 of the more affordable areas in the West Coast. And I will tell you, if I had the choice, you bet your butt I'm moving to Tacoma over Portland. That place is, woo-wee. That place is rough. Seattle comes in at around $900,000 for the average price point. So if you decide to go up a little bit more north, you can expect to pay about $350,000 more dollars for the exact same house. So again, I get that it's expensive, especially if you're coming from somewhere a lot cheaper, but out here in the West Coast, it's pretty good. The other part that kind of stinks about housing out here is that our median days on market right now are only about 6 days. So you're probably going to be paying a little bit more than from where you're coming from, unless you're coming from like a California type environment. And you only got about 6 days, you know, a week, 10 days to find the house you want. So you got to spend more money and you got to hustle to get the house that you want. Those are some things that I think are super important that you generally need to know about. First of all, We like weed out here. People like to clog up the traffic. Homes cost a lot of money, and I love the weather, but a lot of people don't like the weather. So I hope those are some things that really genuinely help you determine whether or not Tacoma might be the right place for you to call home. And again, Chris, myself, and the team, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people that are just like you, that are looking to make their move out here to Tacoma, regardless of the house prices and the traffic. So whether you're looking at making a move in 9 days or 90 days, shoot me a phone call, text, or an email so that Chris, myself, and the team can help you make a smooth move out here to Tacoma. And guys, until next time, I cannot wait till you're out here so that we can show you around.